barakatuh, and welcome. Today is Sunday, the 2nd of May, and you're listening to the Business Talks program. We are on Ramadan Radio, as you know. You're watching and listening to us live from London and Birmingham today. Ramadan Radio, as you know, is on 87.9 FM, Facebook, YouTube, and other media channels and devices. I'm your host today, Tamkin Riaz, and we have a great guest for you today with a lot of experience from a very young age. So we're going to talk about business and things to think about if you're new or thinking of setting up a business. Did you know most businesses fail in the first year, others in the second year, and within 3 years, 80% of new businesses and startups fail. So you must plan or you will definitely fail. First year, as you know, you will have losses, usually, unless you've got a very big marketing budget and promotion and media, radio, TV, magazines. Second year, you may break even. And inshallah, third year is when you start seeing the profits. And don't forget, it's a 5-year plan for business, yeah? And don't forget your exit strategy. So when you do business, think of your 5-year plan. Year 1, 2, you possibly may not make any money. You may just break even. And third year, you should start to see profit. So is business right for everyone? What is business? Is it right for you? Do you know that in business, you have to wear 100 hats? You have to be the accountant, the cleaner, the solicitor, yeah, the secretary, the tea maker, go to meetings, sort out problems. Can you cope with all that? So just a little introduction. Now, we have our guest from Birmingham, Irfan Butt. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Irfan sir.
Wa alaikum assalam. Tamkin sab, thank you for inviting me. I hope we have a very informative session tonight.
Well done, well done. So a little bit of your background. At what age did you start to help in business and helping your father, mashallah, who is very well educated, was a lawyer and a businessman and an accountant, mashallah?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I was in school, Tamkin bhai. We have my dad is an accountant and solicitor, advocate. And I started as I was in school. So we do returns and helping my dad to look after a businessman with my dad. So I was in school. Then I started with my dad.
MashaAllah. So at what age did you come to the UK, or which year did you come to the UK?
I came 2099.
Oh, right. MashaAllah. And what business or work did you do then?
First, I started a little bit because I brought up that atmosphere where I learned a lot of things back home. First, I helped with my dad. We run the office, accountancy business. Then I started iron merchant over there as well. And then I did property as well, buying land and selling in Pakistan already. Then I came in UK. And actually, there are a lot of things. I was in politics. I was in business. Same time, I was in TV as well. So, but anyway, then I complete my graduation in Pakistan. Then I came here. I did degree in UK, business degree complete, and then I started as a accountancy again in accountancy company, joined the company, and then I start other job as well as in marketing, sales and marketing. So these kind of business I did as it started. newcomer. And then after that, I become a sales director, one of the very big company. We are manufacturer for Burberry and also in clothing business, country clothing. And after that, then same time I buy properties as well, selling and buying.
So really, you're not a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. So back home, you did accounts, you ran the office, you did property, you did metal salvage, the breaking up the ships, getting the metal, then taking them to the factories, putting on your own land, and then selling scrap. So you've been an all-rounder, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, and thanks God, I never lost. Alhamdulillah, even very young age, I make a profit. Those days, I still remember I bought it one land, and then I sold it, and it's quite high price.
Well, that's the thing. Business is not a charity. Business is to make a profit so you can sustain your business, sustain your workers, feed your family. So, some people go into business and they just do it and they don't really understand.
I think business is a proposition that you plan to market and gain a financial value from. And or you can get the profit and bring into market and get the profit. This is the business all about. But one thing, you have to do your plan, your homework. What is, marketing? You have to look at the market, and then you plan everything. Then you start the business.
MashaAllah, yes. So that is a business concept that you have, because to do business, accountancy, and knowing your bank flow, knowing what's in the bank on a daily basis is very, very important, because then you can just, if you are making or looking towards making a loss because, your supplier has overcharged you, or you have storage expenses.
Sorry, Tamkin bhai, Tamkin bhai, sorry to interrupt you. I just get the charger because battery is low. You carry on. I'm listening.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what will happen is that when you do business, you have to do your working out. For a business, it's your costs, yes, on one side, and your income on the other side. So your costs must be lower than your income. Sorry, your costs must be lower than the money that comes in, yes? For example, if your costs are £100, yes, then the items that you are selling must cover all your costs, yes? So it may be you're only making 10%, 12%, 15%, 20%, but you must look at your accounts on a daily basis. What have you got in hand in the bank? Yes. So otherwise, it's a waste of time, because you might as well run it as a charity. So in business, you are there to sustain yourself, your business, and others, provide services and products to the customers. Irfan Saab did some work in the UK, and he worked for Burberry. Now, Burberry is a very, very high-end, expensive clothing manufacturer of materials, and they make a lot of upmarket stuff. So what does Burberry do? What do they make? What was your
normally what we can get though? Actually, we have a parallel one other company as well, our own brand. I introduced my own brand as well, Jack Otten. So I get the Burberry order as well, and also we run our country clothing, tweed and wool jacket. But Burberry in a fashion, we do overcoats, like a long coats, when you wear it, and jackets, and mostly we do jackets and overcoats, which one winter and lightweight and heavyweight. We have a big staff, quite a lot of staff. So we made for Burberry coat and jackets.
So first of all, Burberry material is very expensive as well, I remember the leather jackets are waxed and oiled, and the
Yeah,
rain will
wax
stop
jacket,
it.
very. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had one. I had one many years
Barber,
ago. Yes.
actually, barber jacket is very good as well. They're still running in a market. Barber jacket, typical, very traditional barber jacket is wax jacket is very famous.
Yes. Well, they use it for hunting, horse riding,
And
things like
shooting,
that.
yeah, yeah, and yeah,
Shooting.
absolutely.
So really, that's the high
So
end. Yes.
I opened 200 accounts in UK when I came. I opened 200 retailer and wholesaler as well, big clients.
So opening account must have been difficult, no? Because that's where the money is. The more accounts you have, it will, sustain your cash flow. So
Tamkin bhai,
200
one thing,
accounts,
yes,
a lot.
yeah, absolutely. But if your product have a good quality, I believe you can sell it and right price. Obviously, if you have two things and demand as well, demand and supply, and very important, your service relationship with customer as well. So made in UK stuff, quite good quality. And also you can reach easily to customer whenever they need, you can provide, so on. So first, you have to have a good quality stuff. Good quality stuff always save.
Yes, because some people buy cheap, but the profits in the cheap stuff is not as much as the very high end good quality. You are doing the same work. If you are selling a pen for £1 and you got another pen which is £500, the work is the same amount of work, isn't it?
And also brother Tamkeen, I feel very sorry and sometimes very feel upset. Everything from China came, and qualities goes down, and you buy 4 times things. uh, Even some I met customer, white people, they have 20 years old jackets still they're wearing. And
yes.
these days you can't find that kind of quality. You just disposable things you buy, and just after 2 months they throw it away. They're not good for you. So better, I believe, always, we believe, especially when we always have a director meetings, I always look at, when I choose the clothes, we have a meeting with Huddersfield, is a very famous market clothing. We can get clothing from there, and we have to choose best quality, and then we choose very carefully design and everything. We have a quality control. He checked properly, then we put it into the market.
Very good. So you're saying, don't buy cheap, you'll end up paying more.
And
So
absolutely,
good.
if
And better for the environment as well, isn't it? Because of
abs
the footprint. So if it lasts 20
absolutely,
years, 30 years, rather than 1 year, then obviously you're getting 20 times the benefit.
and absolutely, honestly, and the hassle, you sometimes, if you go again to the shop, you have to take off time, and you spend time, then you buy again the low quality. If you have a once good quality stuff, you can save a lot of hassle, I still believe. And I always wish people have a standards, and people should buy good quality. And unfortunately, other countries are, everywhere these days, they don't bother quality. They always have these days, very low quality, be honest, very bad
But
quality.
the fashion generally changes. But for the high end stuff, the fashion doesn't change, does it? The raincoat is the raincoat, is the jacket for hunting, yes, or shooting or whatever. So
You
that fashion doesn't change, but the local fashion changes, isn't it?
absolutely, Tamkeen brother, you're absolutely right. But high end, the high end thing, fashion always change. But once they come back 10 years after, again back, you have a pattern, and you can, turn around, you little bit do things change, and you can still survive. I know that fashion always change, but
Yeah.
the hunting and shooting stuff, country clothing, is not very that much change.
Yes, and as you say, the quality is excellent. It lasts 20, 30 years.
Burberry, you look at the Burberry, why he's selling, why he in the market? Because of the quality. And the other things, Hugo Boss or other, Omani, they have a good quality stuff. That's why they're in the market.
But they are expensive, isn't it? That's the problem. Some people can't afford that sort of price. So what do they do?
Obviously, this is the you can't help.
You buy second hand. You buy second hand.
Yeah, in London, High Street when I used to live Kensington, is a one shop typical is a High Street Kensington. Back of the High Street Kensington is a one shop where you can get the 60s fashion made in UK stuff. Old, honestly, I love it. Sometimes I go there and you buy a jumper, very good quality.
That's right. So now, yeah, you're saving the planet and the earth. So is business for everyone? Because of your experience, you understand accountancy, the law, you've been doing marketing, property, scrap metal. But is business for everyone? Can everyone do business?
Not at all.
No.
Is a depend on your mindset. How do you bring, how you childhood you brought up, what is your passion? If you have a passion, yes, you know what I mean. If you have a passion, some people, even they are very intelligent. They don't they love 9-to-5 job, and they don't want to take a headache. Obviously, when you're in a business, you have to spend more time, sometimes more hours, put it into the business. So it's not for everyone. No, in my experience.
Yes, some people have hobbies and they then think, this is my hobby. I know what I'm doing. I can turn this into a business. And most of them fail because of the cash flow problems. They don't realize, and they haven't costed out their hobby and their time.
Like I said before, I said to you before as well, you have everything. You work hard, number one. Even if I am thirsty, I need to get up, go to the, open the bottle and pour the water. I need to be, you have to do work hard. And, then you get the result, good result. Because you have to have plan, strategy on board. Then you do the business. Not just, yes, I'm hobby, I'm going to start business. Mostly business are failed in 1 year. And then second, and 80% business failed within 5 years.
Yes.
So you have to plan business for at least 5 years.
Yes. So I would say to people, if you're doing a job, do not give up your job. Carry on with your job and do your business part-time, which means that you're working your main job 9 to 5 approximately, and then the evenings and weekend you're doing your private or business. And obviously that you can then tell whether it's viable for you to carry on. But today, in today's market, the internet is there, especially during this reset of lockdown. A lot of people are going towards the internet to buy, to sell, to even educate themselves. Yes. Can people educate themselves on the internet, or do you really need to be in a classroom with a mentor or someone?
Not at all. Internet is a big help. And sometimes depend again, you use your brain, you use your focus, common sense. Of course, if you get a mentor help from anybody, you don't hesitate. You should get help from everywhere. But internet also very helpful, especially for abroad. When we used to live in back home, we don't know what's going on in international market. So very hard to get into international market. Now, internet help you within 5-10 minutes. You get to international market. You can research it and then you start it. But so internet also very big help. But same time you have to learn from other as well, from other people experience.
Yes, some people think they can start a business with no money, no experience. Yes. Do you need money or do you need experience or do you need both? To start a business, and then we'll go on from there to one of your businesses, and so we can give
It's
people.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Tamkin bhai is very unfair. Sometimes you get lucky, you get the, jackpot, but you need money and you need time. You put it your effort. Is not you just without money you can get the business. Yes, very few people can, but not always. Mostly you need all planning, everything. You buy stuff and then you bring into the market and then you sell it and then you get the profit.
So can we have one example of any of your businesses? How did you start the business, and did you come out or is it still going? Just any one of your businesses that you want to tell us. How did you start, and go through the process if you've got and did you have an exit strategy, or did you think it was going to go forever and ever and ever and ever?
In my is again is depend on your personality as well, and obviously if you get bored or these days, olden days, yes, you can survive. You have one business. You can, some people do accountancy, they stick with accountancy. My dad have a 500 client and they don't want to move any other because my father get Parkinson disease, and unfortunately bad luck. That's why I was helping my dad, and but what I trying to say, depend on your personality. If you are happy with your business, yes, you carry on. But these days, I think the world is changing too fast. So 2 year, you have to 3 year, you have to come out and bring. Oh, you can bring new product all the time. You can't stick with one thing. In my experience.
Yes, I think you have a completely right. In the old days, when I say old days, I'm talking 10, 15 years ago plus. If you were in banking, you stayed in banking.
Banking,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You were there from the time you were 18, 20, 21 until you retired at 60.
Retired,
65.
yeah.
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 But nowadays, you will see that people are, doing more professional development, professional courses. Maybe they're in something for 5 years, 7 years, and then they move on to something, then they move on to something different. They get a
No,
broader scope. But
yeah, absolutely. And Tamkeen is world is crazily changing all the time now. This is because I seen my parents and my grandfathers. They don't want to change, but younger generation now these days are happenings around every time new product very quickly. Even when you in fashion, used to be fashion stay quite long. Now fashion all the time change, so you have to very focus on market. What is the demand out there? So you can always very focus.
yes, because when I used to be in education, and I'm still in education since 1980. But along with education, I was also doing business and events. And when I was doing my business events after working 9 to 5, then I would have the events at 7 o'clock in central London. I had different speakers, different businesses. So I met a lot of people. And they were saying that everything has a time. You start off slow, and then you gradually grow, and then you hit a peak, a plateau. Now, once you hit the plateau, there's only one way, down. But if you hit the plateau and then you innovate, then it
Yeah,
gives you
jump on
extra.
to
Then you innovate, it gives you
it.
extra. Otherwise, slowly, you decline. So it's like a bell bar, a bell.
Absolutely.
So when I was doing the events, we had speakers on property. And when I say property, different aspects of property: rent to own, rent to buy, yeah, property abroad, yes, property with no money down, below market value property, sourcing property, doer-uppers, buy a property cheap, do it up, rent to rent, you rent a property and then you rent it out. So it wasn't just, oh, put a deposit down, get a property. They were telling you different angles of property. Same with stocks and shares. So there were lots and lots of ways, joint venturing with people. If you had the money and someone had no money, but they had the time and the capability, you would joint venture. You would go to networking events as well in the field you were interested in, and you would make connections. So in those days, you had to go out. The internet was there, but not as much. Now with Facebook, social media, TikTok, WhatsApp, Telegram, blah, 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 blah. Yesterday night, for example, I created a Telegram group for businesses. Yes. This morning, I woke up and there are about 70 people on it. And I only knew 10 of them. But they were all on there and telling us what they're selling, what they're buying. So the internet has helped. But the other thing with the internet is you have a lot of spammers, people who are after your money. You have to be very, very, very careful. Obviously, if the big companies, eBay, Amazon, blah, 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 fine. But there are little companies who are good and trying to get out there and spread. But there's a lot of people who want your account, want your details. So you have to be very, very careful. But I have found, over the last, if I tell you, I've been on Facebook for 14 years when it first started. Then Twitter, LinkedIn. So I've been around on media for a long time. People are only in the last 3, 4, 5 years. At one time, within a few months, I had 5,000 people on my Facebook account. And for a personal account, 5,000 is the maximum. And then I had another account, which is, a profile account for businesses that you can have as many as you like. But I like the personal ones. Then I had another Facebook account that got to 5,000. Then I had another Facebook account that got to 5. But that has helped me. I've been around quite a while, and I've seen a lot of things. But my business has always been education, education, education. And from that education, I got into charity work, into TV, radio, magazines, and became an entrepreneur. I bought properties abroad as well as the UK, import, export. I've done lots of things. But what I found was that you need a stable full-time job. Yes. Although I did retire from education, I went back. Yes. Not because I wasn't making money or anything like that. I enjoyed having something stable. Business for me is part-time. And it's always been part-time business for me. So for you, it's probably full-time. Is that right?
I don't think so. I agree with your part-time and full-time. I always full-time. Nothing, you can't get anything if you do part-time. So you don't achieve. Depend again, Tamkin, depend on your mindset. If you want to, how much you, where you want to see yourself. Obviously, part-time, you can't give more time to, both businesses. So if you want to achieve something on high level, you need to do full-time. I think full-time, if you do something, do full-time, not a part-time.
Yes. So with me, because it's education.
I'm add to one thing. Again, your circumstances absolutely fine because you very carefully taking a step because you obviously you have to run your house things as well, expenditures, everything. But the business people, they have a plan. They have money as well for backup. So you need to be depend on which background you're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yes. So with me, it's slightly different. In education that I am in, I only work 38 weeks a year in education. And every 6
38.
weeks, yes,
Oh my,
38 weeks a year.
this is not a
And
job.
the other 14 weeks, yes, don't forget, I get all the holidays being in education. And although my job is 9 to 5, I'll be absolutely honest with you, my job is 9 to 5, but I actually start at 9:30 in the class, and I actually finish around 4. And in
Okay.
between, I have 2 breaks and a lunch break.
Wow. No, but Tamkin,
My circumstance is different. Yeah.
I understand, but in my situation, in what I see, I can't do 2 things in one time. I always focus. Because my experience, I tell the people, do one thing at a time and do properly.
And the other thing was that when I started in work in 1980, I worked like this 38 weeks a year for 25 years. Yes. And the other time I was doing the other 3 months, I was doing business and everything. 25 years I did that.
Tamkin, sorry, you that old. You look young, man.
No, I'm very old. I'm very old. I'm over 60. That's all I'm saying.
But you look, mashallah, you look very young.
Well, because I'm in college and schools and universities, I mingle with the young people. Yeah, I know what the young people are up to. So
I thought you did makeup. I thought you did a makeup.
Makeup? No, I don't have makeup.
You know, when I tell you, when I was in a TV I did 4 dramas in TV, PTV. When is a 1 PTV as a hero. So when I go older, that was based on 2 stories. And they took me to the makeup room. And the guy said, you don't need a makeup, because I was so young that time. I just sharing you those times. Anyway, you carry on.
No, we're just generally talking. So I worked 25 years full time. Then I retired.
Oh my God.
Age of 45.
45.
So I did 25 years in education, and then I retired. And I retired for about 10 years where I was doing business and other things.
Okay.
Yes. Then I missed education and I went back part-time. Sometimes I went back 2 days a week, sometimes 3 days a week. Yeah. But I carried on doing my other things because I do a lot of charity work, as you know, and being abroad, Haiti, Pakistan, Japan.
Same as me as well. Same as I run with Imran Khan, and I promote one other big microfinance charity. I'm proud. I introduce and host the program. Now is one of the biggest charity in Pakistan.
Which one is that?
I don't want to mention the name.
Okay. Oh, well, that's fine. And but as long as they're doing well.
Yeah, it's Akhwat charity.
Akhwat, yes. I
was the founder. I did the organize and the host in London and Birmingham as well. I introduced them as well in host the program in London and organized first program in Birmingham and organized and host the program as well. So now they are quite big charity.
Well, if I tell you, I know Akhwat, and for the past 5 years, we have been giving them some money for microfinance for little projects. Yes. Yeah. So I do know they're a charity, and yes, it's very good.
And I did for Shaukat Khanim as well. I did with the and Shaukat Khan. I did with the other film star Muhammad Ali. We have a joint Idara Hukukul Ibad, human rights. We give them as every month pay check for poor people. So I did a lot of charity work.
Yes, the thing is, we are able to give back our time and our money, so we are able to do it. We don't have one stream of income. That's the other thing. Nowadays, you have to have multi streams of income. Yes, you cannot rely on one job or one business. This is my opinion. Yeah. Unless you're working for the government in government offices, and usually in the government offices, you are there for life still. Yes, but if you're in a run-of-the-mill, it's very difficult. So I don't know if you know, but I run a few businesses, as well as do the education side. And we have our own little charity as well. So, you know,
What
I keep
business
myself busy.
what business do you run?
I run 3 businesses. I
Oh,
actually do some property business. Yeah.
okay.
I do online education
Okay.
and I do investing. Yes.
Investing in where?
We're investing in cryptocurrency, believe it or not.
Okay, okay.
Then I
Yeah.
use cryptocurrency. I've been doing when I did Bitcoin many years ago. If I
Yeah.
tell you, I was offered Bitcoin at $1.
Okay.
$1. You know how much Bitcoin is? Between 55 and 60,000 pounds.
Wow.
And I was offered at $1. But you know, I've done stocks and shares. Yes. So yeah, obviously, because I was in events, yes, because I was in events, then obviously you meet people, yes, who are talking about business. And of course, if they are the owners, then they show you some tricks and things that they do. Sometimes they are good and sometimes they are bad. But I've been in business since age 45, you know, for a while. And so property, crypto, business, but education and online education is number one for me. 3 weeks ago, I had to do 6 online courses. 6 online for my work at the college. They said, Tamkin, you have to do this course. I said, okay. So I went online. They said, you do it online. So I went online, did the courses. But I'm always improving myself, always improving. And that has helped me. And then when other people needed to do the same courses, I was able to coach and mentor them as well, because I had gone through it. But just saying, nowadays you have to be multitasking. I don't believe in this day and age now that you can stick to one business. I used to, you know, salt, Himalayan salt, saffron, yeah, water. But enough about me. So which business are you going to choose? We've only got another 5 or 10 minutes. Tell us about one business, start to finish, that you've done or you are currently doing, so that people get an idea. Yeah. Medical, you know, you do your medical equipment. I know what you do. You do.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But think of one, and how did you start it?
Thank you for now. I thinking you're doing my interview. No, I'm not taking your interview.
I know, because you're not taking.
Okay. I think we switch our role. You know?
Yeah, you asked me.
You know.
So start with one business and then just lead us through.
I think so. I personally, I'm enjoying property business, and I always get the very safe business if you do your homework. And even when I started, even I haven't paid full amount of money. I paid some amount of money, and I get the other customer. I already sold it and get the profit. So you know, this is for me. That business is very good, especially these days. Property always good for me.
Were you a property sourcer, or were you just flipping the properties? Property source is someone who finds a property at a low price and then gives it to someone. And
yeah, you can again.
Property sourcing.
Yeah,
so
you can. You have to have your contacts. You use your contacts like a estate agent as well. We have a group of a friend of our estate agents. They sometimes bring you options and give you, you know, first, because I'm always cash buyer. I'd never do on interest. Hopefully, you know, so always I get the deals if you are cash buyer. So they always offer you first and they show you. So you even in auctions is a big source as well. You buy from auction, do it up and sell it. And again, once again, you should plan first and then you take a step. So very important strategy plan. You have to have your homework complete and then you buy stuff, you know, what you bring into the market.
Absolutely. Because when I used to do property many years ago, and I'm still doing a little bit now, we learned something where you could buy properties cheap. And that was death debt and divorce. So if you knew anyone, who was getting divorced or they're in debt, whatever, debt, and then that was a source of our properties. Solicitors was another one because they dealt with death, divorce. Another one,
absolutely.
another one was locksmiths because they had to go and change locks on doors and this and that. Another one was builders. I bought one house, for example, because I knew a builder, and he said, "Oh, we're going into this house. It's been broken down, derelict for many years, and we have to go in there and clear everything out." And then he said, "Look, it's going very cheap because it needs a lot of work doing to it." So, as you say, having contacts is number one. Number one, contacts.
Secondly, again, I don't take advantage for any, mentioned divorce and stuff like that. I'm kind of business, honestly, Tamkin, I tell you one thing.
Yes.
One is a guy came from, other city from Nottingham, and he start work with a new TV. And I shouldn't mention anyway. And he looking for property. And, I always look after people. I gave him, because I have property that time. So I gave him very below the market, almost 10,000. I gave him I say he's newcomer. So let's give him a little bit help. So I believe I'm not very cruel businessman.
Oh,
I know
no.
normally people, looking for anybody divorce, and these world is very unfortunately is very sad, I would say, but I always clean. I want to give a message to people as well.
Yes.
Always stay with soft-hearted. No, don't be. I know businessman.
Not hard-nosed business. Not hard. Business.
Don't hard to the customer, your customer. And this is strategy I apply and I play with. I know a lot of people always think about my dad. I learned from my dad.
Yes.
When I sitting with them, some businessmen came, their business is no good. My dad don't charge them. Believe me, Tamkin, I learned from my dad because we do returns. We know what is out, in and out, going, how much he making profit. So my dad, once a customer came and he forced to give us money, my dad said, "No, don't worry. Next year, when your business pick up, we can charge you." So very hard to find these days. Very hard to find these days that kind of mindsets. So I follow my dad legacy. I always try to, yes, I'm gonna live. I have expenditure, but I'd never go for that far, to rip off other people or take it. Or take it. Some people, when they have divorce, or let's people say the bank jump in, and I always stay away from banks interest business.
Yes.
This is, I'm going to give people advice as well. Please, the time that people are stuck and work like a donkey because of they're paying interest too much on properties, and they have 10 properties all on interest.
Oh.
Why? I my friend, a lot of friends have and they sometimes say, "You are crazy. Why not?" The bank always phone me. Did you need a loan? I always say, "No, I don't need it." So I think best play. Don't go, stuck with interest. So you can always have
very good advice. Very good. Plus, being Muslim, riba is
no, even forget about the. No. Of course, when you mention Muslim, they think, Alhamdulillah, I'm Muslim, but I'm saying I seen poor white people, they're stuck in interest. They work all day, night, and paying interest, and this is I sometimes very feel sorry for them. So I always keep away from interest.
That is a very, very good motto. Only do what you can do. If you need to, get partners in. Yes,
yes,
money. And that's a way of getting out of it. I remember doing committees. I don't know if people know what committees. They will pool their money together and then they give back each month. So interest free. So yes, if you can got family and friends you can rely on, you can, they might need, to buy a house, cash deposit, take a little bit from someone, a little bit from someone, and of course pay it back. Rather than paying the bank back with interest, this is interest-free loans from family and friends, isn't it? If you,
Yeah,
100,
even people depend again. If you, I don't want to be big millionaire or billionaire. I want to be enjoy my life as well. And I seen very big millionaire. I sit with them. They always talk about money. They how we can give. It's a lot of pressure. They always have a lot of pressure on them. And Alhamdulillah, if you are if you are do with cash, whatever you have it, you play it and get the profit. So life is so easy.
Well, I have a business friend, and every week he has to find between 80 and 90,000 pounds every week to run his business, which is a lot of money. It's a small business, but he has staff, he has a rent, he has rates, he has a material cost, drivers, vans, blah, blah. And he's struggling every week to make the sales so that he can afford to pay 80 to 90,000 pounds. He doesn't sleep. He's got no hair.
There you go.
There you
why people need it?
Struggling.
People need a 5 house, 6 houses. Sometime and Tamkin, they all on interest. They work for banks. No, honestly, and they are very stingy. They don't, can't spend properly. So I don't understand that logic. So I advise to people, stay away from interest, and you're gonna save your money and start the business.
Absolutely. So as you said in the beginning, plan your business, strategize how much money you will need, where you're going to come from, how much sales you are going to do, what you need in the bank. So if you plan it, and look at your accounts every day, look at the money coming in, look at the money coming in every day so that you can plan. Don't look after a week, don't look after a month. Do it on a daily basis.
And research the market. How much demand out there? You don't, what is people are looking for. So then you play your role.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, you very, very good. Try and do business as much as you can by doing the planning. Do not take loans.
And take a small step. Don't go suddenly, with Allah help.
Buy a car and a big office and a big desk.
You don't need to be the. I seen my other last company. I seen because father passed away, the kids took over. And they're young, they're flashing, buying cars, spending on without any reason, marketing, without any hire the people, and they've just gone, they're bankrupt after that. I seen all these things. So once again, take small step. Allah, if you we believe strongly, if you in your kismet, in your luck, you're going to always get it. So take small step away from interest. Then you hopefully you become a happy life and good businessman.
That's right. To have a balanced life,
balanced life, and you can enjoy your life. Sometimes people, when they look at me, they Alhamdulillah, they said, wow, when they know about me, and they're quite amazed.
Thank you very much. It's now 4 o'clock. I'd like to thank you very much indeed. And this is a very good program because on Tuesday, the next program is on Islamic finance. So no riba. And that is by Professor Humayun Dar. He's been in Islamic finance
I'm intrigued
for many, many years.
I'm intrigued too, because I'm intrigued to gonna watch it, how they Islamic giving to, money.
Yes.
And once again, thank you for giving to me interview.
Giving to me interview and giving me interview. Thank you very much, Irfan Butt from Birmingham. We really appreciate your time, and
You're
inshallah we'll meet.
welcome. You're
And
welcome.
inshallah we'll see you on Tuesday, everyone, for Professor Humayun Islamic Finance Hot Topic. Thank you to Ramadan Radio and all the team. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah.
Thank you. Pray. Remember in your du'as.
Remember us every in your prayers. Jazakallah khair. Take care. Jazakallah.